All right, welcome to White Glove Trucking, channel dedicated to helping you use trucking as a vehicle to live your best life. I'm EJ Anderson, the long haul truck blogger, also known as the happiest, kindest trucker on the road. And today's video is all about happiness, improving your happiness out on the road. I read a book called Happier No Matter What by Tal Ben Shahar. He's this super smart professor, right? He wanted to study happiness, but do it in a different way. So he went around and he looked at all these different areas and brought them all together for this like recipe for whole being happiness. So it's a really cool thing he created. It's called SPIRE. SPIRE stands for spiritual, physical, intellectual, relational, and emotional well-being. And I did a video for spiritual well-being yesterday, and today I'm going to do the one for physical well-being. So I have altered it somewhat for trucking. I've kind of leveled it up for trucking, if you will. So I call my version Spire AF, and you'll have to wait until the last video to see what AF stands for. Okay, so today is all about physical well-being, right? It's all about getting adequate rest, eating healthy, and getting exercise. So if we're going to talk about physical well-being in the context of trucking, right? So we're going to tackle these one at a time. Let's first talk about getting adequate rest, because I feel like that one is the most important. So getting good sleep and not be sleep deprived. Don't be sleep deprived trucking, you guys. First and foremost, it's dangerous, right? I mean, our lives depend on this. So that's the first thing. But in terms of this physical well-being, right? I think getting adequate rest is like the most important piece of not just this physical well-being, honestly, but like almost everything I say on this channel, because it's so important, because everything flows down from getting enough sleep. So as a trucker, right, if I am tired, if I'm not getting enough sleep, all I want to do when I'm at the shipper, receiver, or on break is sleep. So you don't feel like doing anything else. Unless I get adequate sleep, I'm not able to do all of these amazing things that I can do out on the road that make my trucking experience great. So that's why adequate sleep is so important. That's number one. I recently saw something recently, actually this is not as part of Spire, but just because I just recently heard this. Think of PDQ, right? So it's like, or was it CDQ? Hold on. Think of the acronym. It was quiet, dark, and cold. CDQ. So think CDQ when you're trucking. Cold, dark, and quiet is the best sort of like environment to get the best night's sleep. Okay, and then just some of my little tips on what I like to do to make sure I'm like taking care of my body and I'm sleeping enough. All right, number one, if I take a load across the country, like say Virginia to California, right? I already know that at the end of that load in California, I'm gonna want a day off. I've done it to where I go back and forth, like I've gone from Virginia to California, back to the East Coast, whatever. And that second trip back, man, I was just kind of miserable. I did not have enough break between the two. So if I ever do a trip all the way across the country, I like to know, just go ahead and schedule in a day in between taking the next load, right? So that's one thing. If I deliver in the afternoon, that's another thing. I don't try to cram in another load. If I deliver at like 2 o'clock, or yeah, if I deliver at 2, they get 2 hours to unload. It's gonna be 4 p.m. I'm not trying to cram in another load that day. I'm just gonna go ahead and book another load the next morning. And that way I'm not stressed out about driving through rush hour traffic, trying to get there, seeing if they're gonna unload me on time. It's just way more relaxed. And so that's another way I can like make sure I'm like getting adequate rest, right? And then the third thing I like to do, oh, and then here's a good tip. So the third thing, if you're ever near a hotel, right? Some hotels allow you to pay a fee to use their spa. So you can pay a fee, use the spa, which also gives you access to the gym, and you've got this nice, chill, just like relaxing, self-care sort of environment you can have for a couple of hours, 2, 3 hours. You don't even need to buy the room. You don't need the room. You got your sleeper. So that's another area that I've done that plenty of times to get a nice little self-care moment out here on the road to make sure I'm getting that physical well-being, right? Okay, so the second part of this is getting enough exercise, right? Now that we are not sleep deprived, we can actually have the energy to do those workouts that we want to do, right? So there is no reason that every trucker in America should not be fit when we have all that time at the shipper and receiver to work out. So work out at the shipper receiver. Also, man, I had a great workout the other day at a rest area, right? This can be done on your 30-minute break. I pulled into the rest area, got out the truck. First thing I did, real quick circuit. I did a set of pull-ups on the awning over the picnic table. I did some push-ups. This is like one after the other. Pull-ups, push-ups, some body weight squats, and some calf raises, right? And then I went in to pee. I came out. I did the circuit again. Then I got in my truck, made 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, came out, did the circuit a third time, and then got in the truck, 30 minutes on the dot, hit the road, ate the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, while I'm driving, and it was perfect. Perfect. So shipper receiver workouts, rest area, 30-minute break workouts, please. It's easy, just do it. The final piece of this physical well-being in the SPIRE model is healthy eating, okay? Now this one, I'm not gonna even say that I'm like getting an A in this class. or I'm not even gonna say that I'm killing this one. I eat trucker food, I eat fast food a lot. You guys see me on my other videos saying I'm going to Cane's or McDonald's or whatever. And I love, man, my favorite food is literally Kitty breakfast cereal. I love Frosted Flakes. I love Lucky Charms. I love these breakfast cereals. So on this one, I'm not perfect, but I just try to do the best I can. And as a trucker, I think it's hard to be perfect because of what our options are. So that's all we can do is the best we can, right? So for this though, I do have some tips. Okay, so my number one thing is if I can't eat good, eat small, right? So I try to keep those portions small. Second thing, I like to keep my carbohydrates and my proteins in like a 1-to-1 ratio, right? So often when I'm eating fast food, what that means is sometimes I'll take the bun, one half the bun off the burger and just eat it like open face. Sometimes I will get a smaller burger. Instead of getting a Whopper, I'll get like a double cheeseburger, but I'll add an extra patty. So I'm getting less bread, more meat, right? I try to, I don't always do this. Sometimes I can't help it, but I try to only eat the fries when I'm eating the burger. And if there's fries left over after the burger, I try to throw them away, but it's like 50-50. Oh, get nuggets instead of fries if you can. So nuggets are actually a pretty good ratio of like carbs, fat, and protein. Like you could do a lot worse than just eating nuggets all by themselves with nothing else. Okay, a couple more. All right, I try not to bring it into the truck in the first place. If it's in there, if it's within arm's reach, I'm gonna eat it. It's hard when you're driving, you're nothing else to do, you're thinking about food and it's right there. So try to keep it out of the truck in the first place. If I do eat too much, like let's say I give in, I eat that third bowl of cereal, I eat some M&Ms, whatever it is, and I start to feel that I've like, because you're sitting there, right? We can't burn this stuff off. So you're sitting there, you start to feel like, oh, I got this. I can feel that sugar rushing through my system, right? And for me, what I start doing is I start talking to myself. I literally start talking my own head off, and then I know, you ate too much. So what I'll do is I got a little weight that I keep right by my seat. So I'll start to do this weight, right? Do a little curls, little shoulder exercise, with the non-driving hand, right? And also, what you can do, science, they recently found out this is a really good thing you can do. They got a fancy name for it, call it the soleus push-up, but it's really just a calf raise. So apparently they found out that the calf muscle is super, super good at burning sugar. Like, so you're doing calf raises, and I also do the reverse one too, like when you stretch your toe up instead of just down. So do both of those while you're driving, and that'll burn off some of that excess sugar if you give in. Um, yeah, that's it. So, and that's it for the video actually. So, um, those are all my tips for adequate sleep on the road, healthy eating on the road, and getting exercise on the road. So all those put together, you can build that physical well-being. And this is so important in trucking because if you don't do this, we know what happens. There's a lot of big truckers out there. A lot of us get big. So this is so important. And you are not using trucking to live your best life if you are not maintaining your health. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.